Sheva, come on! Hurry! Hurry!
Chris! Come on! Come on!
Okay.
Come on!
Okay. Hurry! Come
Roger.
on! Sheva, hurry!
Okay. Chris!
Roger.
Hurry up!
Okay.
Chris!
Roger.
Hurry up!
Okay.
Come on! Hurry up! Hurry up! Come on!
Okay.
Come on!
Roger.
Fight is now mine.
When I first began playing this game after Resident Evil 4, I honestly wasn't looking forward to it. With the amount of boulder memes I have seen from this game, I wasn't expecting much of the story, or even the gameplay. From the moment the game began, I'm not sure why, but the game just didn't sit with me right. I was constantly annoyed with the inventory management, and I found myself being frustrated with the controls, as they were just slightly different enough to Resident Evil 4. And just don't even get me started on the AI. I don't mind that this game is a co-op game. I think having a Resident Evil game every now and then be a co-op game is fine, but their history of online games are just not the best, if we're being honest with ourselves.
If you do not hurry, I will be forced to conclude the test early. This data is excellent.
But if you're playing this game solo, just prepare yourself for the most enraging experience of your life, especially on professional. The AI will die over and over, and there will be nothing you can do about it. And unlike Resident Evil 4, you can't pause the game to organize inventory, and to make matters worse, your inventory is the size of a pencil case because the game expects you to share your inventory with the AI companion. But the problem with this philosophy is, the game chucks a challenge at you. For example, a shit ton of enemies you need to kill, but you're in a scenario where the only way you are surviving this is with a grenade. But you don't have a grenade, your AI does, but the AI is dumb as shit and doesn't know how to throw a grenade. And you can't go into your inventory to get it because the AI has it. And to even get it from her, she must be literally sitting on your dick to even exchange the item. And by the time you've got the nade, you're already dead 10 times over because the game doesn't pause, and the game expects you to be able to throw that nade instantly because it's built as a co-op game first. I need to trigger this cutscene and then somehow survive. I need to survive somehow. That's the only strat. It's the only strat. I'm being cock-blocked by Wesker! Somehow the AI managed to get worse going from Resident Evil 4 to 5. Probably because we decided to give the AI a gun. Nothing proved that more than this fight right here. When this cutscene ends, the AI isn't supposed to follow me here. But it does. And because Wesker is chasing me, it will get stuck on Wesker, and then Wesker will immediately obliterate the AI because on professional, you're pretty much one-shot to everything in the game. So to fix this problem, I found spamming the rocket launcher at the ground hoping to stun Wesker so the AI can run past. But the problem with this is I also have to make sure I don't kill the AI, and also another character I won't tell you about or show for spoiler reasons with the rocket launcher at the same time. And then after all that, I have to either kill Wesker incredibly fast or sit in a corner spamming circle, because if I don't, the AI will then decide to 1v1 the other boss I choose not to mention for spoilers, and then immediately get railed because the AI is way over its head.
Come on!
Where is he? Chris, stop dying! Come on, walk around the corner. Let's go again. You know, I gotta respect this game at least for having a platinum. But by God, why the shit does Resident Evil 5 get 71 trophies in total, whilst Resident Evil 4 only gets a measly 12, and no platinum? And the trophies in Resident Evil 5 are so random. You're telling me you gave Resident Evil 5 a trophy to kill an enemy with an egg. An egg. But you couldn't give Resident Evil 4 DLC trophies. Like, what the shit is that? From the moment I booted up the Lost in Nightmares DLC, I knew I was in for a treat. And that's the honest truth. When I walked through those mansion doors and saw Spencer Mansion 2.0, I was in freaking awe. From the beginning to the end, I loved Lost in Nightmares. And if you were on the fence about playing Resi 5, then at least just play this DLC. It's a beautiful homage to Resi 1, and it feels like a breath of fresh air of a game going down the wrong path. And to be honest, I think this DLC should have been the start of Resi 5, as it's not too long of a game if you compare it to Resi 4, and it would just make Chris's entire journey way more cohesive and rewarding, being able to feel that loss firsthand at the start of the game with Chris. So, if you haven't realized, in my opinion, anyone that hasn't played the Lost in Nightmares DLC, just play it, and then play it before the story, the main story, because it'll make it all the better. But don't, for the love of God, touch Desperate Escape. This DLC is single-handedly the worst Resident Evil experience I have ever had. And I honest to God think that whoever made this DLC should be fired. And probably was the reason Resident Evil 6 sucked poo-poo. So, you guys remember all those complaints I said about the AI a few minutes ago? Well, times that by 10. You know what? Just f it. Times it by 100. And that's what this shit is. Enemies literally spawn infinitely, and there is a legit trophy for killing 150 enemies in a mission that should only take around 10 minutes. And in some areas, the game feels like an indie game made by some guy that was really into Resident Evil and thought that chucking, an orgy of enemies in one spot was a good idea. This shit looks like some guy just went into creative on Minecraft and put as many enemies down as they could. And then, at the end, they have the audacity to chuck you on a tiny ass rooftop for 7 freaking minutes. It's like I'm playing Call of Duty Zombies in third person with slow as shit controls, because this game is still built to be a survival horror where every single enemy is meant to be a challenge. I spent 1 hour and 43 minutes in this mission on professional because you just have to pray you get blessed with the RNG for you to live and your AI, because everything one-shots you. You can stub your toe in this difficulty and you will die. Okay, enough talking about the DLC. Let's talk about Resi 5's main game a little bit more. I think the story here is really good. If you love Resi, you're gonna love this story. I think that's the truth. The story here is really good. I think I even enjoyed it more than Resi 4's story. I know you probably want to slap me in the face right now. I love Resi 4. I just think the story there just isn't as good as this. I think Resi 5 has the better story overall, honestly. After 2 solo playthroughs and 1 playthrough in a co-op with a buddy, I still think I enjoyed it more by myself, funny enough, after all those complaints about the AI. It is an overall good plat to go for, and you're looking at about 30 hours of game time with around 3 playthroughs with a difficulty, I want to say around a 4 out of 10. With the DLCs included though, I'd add an extra 3 hours of gameplay with at least 2 playthroughs of each DLC, and also raising that difficulty to around a 6 out of 10. The next Resident Evil game I'll be playing will most likely be 6, and oh boy, I really don't think I'm ready for this one at all, because I wasn't ready for 5, and that game had mixed opinions. Like, that game was I really enjoyed it. I love the story, I think. I really liked that game. I don't know why I'm saying it like I'm talking in like past tense. I was literally just talking about this game. Anyways, yeah, I don't think I'm ready for Resi 6, so we'll see how that goes. But next month, Dying Light 2 does come out, so be on the lookout for that 100% review. I will be playing through Dying Light 2 on stream as well. If you're interested, I'll leave that link in the description. Anyways, as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.